Tonight on This Week in the News, a guy gets arrested for a joke, the Australian cricket team is retarded, the head of the NBN quits, and we're forced to hire a new HR rep. Hello my friends, and welcome to This Week in the News. Well, hello and welcome to This Week in the News for April. I'm your 100% shitty shit talker, fill-in dog walker, manly man, guy called Stan, and really shitty anchorman Stevo, and this is Derek. It's fucking Dave. The guy who edits this shit. Thank you for tuning in for the program this week, and yes, we have the latest of late news for you. But before we get into that, due to numerous amounts of complaints made towards us, we have finally decided to hire a HR representative to answer the complaints of the dickheads who complain about every joke that is made in the history of existence. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Tracy.
No, and I don't care about your complaints. So fuck off.
Make sure you're nice to her because she's trans. She has already lowered our Uber Eats rating from 5 stars to El Stinko in two days. I don't know how she does it.
Don't look at me. You fucking hide here, you cunt.
Did I just hear you say the C word again?
Fuck.
And now let's finally get into some political news. Recently, online comedian Count Dankula was sentenced to over 1 year in jail for making a joke. In an article published by Polygon, Dankula published a video back in 2016 where he taught his dog to respond to terms like Sieg Heil, gas the Jews, and do a Nazi salute. You know, nothing that's against the law.
Davo, play the clip.
My girlfriend is always ranting and raving about how cute and adorable her wee dog is, and so I thought I would turn him into the least cute thing that I could think of, which is a Nazi. Buddha, do you want gas the Jews? Do you want gas the Jews? Mum will gas the Jews, son. You want gas the Jews? Do you want gas the Jews? Come on, gas the Jews. Come on, gas the Jews, son. Come on. Do you want gas the Jews? Do you want gas the Jews? Do you want gas the Jews? Gas the Jews? Jews. Time to get up now, Buddha.
Unfortunately, the Scottish police then see this video as a joke, missing the point of the joke entirely. The point of the joke is that the pug is adorable, but is doing some horrible shit, whilst also reacting to things created by the Nazis. This didn't translate to the Scottish police, however, who released this dickhead statement in response. There is a fine line between what is said and what is not considered to be hate speech. For instance, it is generally okay to criticize a nation state, but if the primary focus of the content is to incite hatred against a group of people solely based on their ethnicity, or if the content promotes violence based on any of these core attributes like religion, it violates our policy. They also think they know how Count Dankula intended the joke to be perceived. The accused knew that the material was offensive and knew why it was offensive, O'Carroll said, the guy who's in charge of the Scottish police. I assume, despite that the accused made a video containing anti-Semitic content, that he would have known it was grossly offensive to many Jewish people. But you know what the funny thing is? They're taking a guy who calls himself Count Dankula seriously. Like, my god, this is retarded shit. If I met a guy called Count Dankula, I just ignore him, like all the other crazies. Also, how fucking thin-skinned are the Scots? I'll tell you, alright? How about I take my dick out in front of the Scottish Parliament, start swinging it from side to side, or do what this guy did?
Style, Hig, Skyle, Facts or Dies have Noiska, Never a fucking springtime for Hitler. And right, well, Tim, this is me miming being a Nazi fucking the Von Trapp.
And now to shit on her sandwich with more political news, Trump now blames video games for violent school shooters. In an article published by The Time, the author explains that Trump met with Congress and video game executives about violent video games and how they affect kids and adults, possibly making them into school shooters. And although I hate to do this by bringing up the past from 6 years ago, the article brings up a tweet from 2012 where Trump essentially blames video games for making monsters. Now, you've got to ask yourself while watching this happen from America, are they really that retarded? Violent video games do not make violent people. And yeah, they do not inspire people to do shit. It's like saying that I went around beating people to death with a giant purple dildo in Saints Row the Third, and because I did that in the game, I'm going to go around and do that in real life. This is stupid. The politicians are stupid. Anyone who agrees with this stance on video games is stupid. No one likes you. Go jump a cliff. And now for some sports news. Australia may withdraw from the FIFA World Cup if the UK withdraws because of Russia. In an article covered by the ABC, Julia Bishop, the acting Prime Minister at the time, wanted to pull Australia from the FIFA because of Russia's involvement. but would only withdraw if the UK did so as well. And upon facing fierce backlash from the public, Bishop said on Twitter that Australia would not be withdrawing from the World Cup, because apparently she's a woman and she can't make a definitive decision. This is why when someone says we need more female leaders, right? I say they should go back to the kitchen where they belong, because Julie Bishop is almost being as bad as Kevin Rudd, Julia Gillard. Oh yeah, and Julie Bishop, the only three female leaders we've ever had. Maybe we should put in some laws and shit to keep them out of Parliament. Oh wait, no, apparently that's illegal. Oh, okay, well, we'll go back to the drawing board then. And now in tech news, Microsoft has announced that users will no longer be able to swear on Skype or Xbox Live services. In a very much unprecedented move that is kind of out of the blue, Microsoft announced that it will be releasing new terms of service that would basically ban swearing from their online platforms. We here at Stevo HQ currently don't know if they will be moved over to Word or other programs that Microsoft provides, but an inside source tells us that it just might. The funny thing is here, right? Microsoft is trying to change themselves to be a more clean image for the kiddies, but do they not realize that majority of their player base is made up of people who aren't complete whiny pieces of shit? Like, seriously, Microsoft, do you want everyone to move to PlayStation just so they can have the privilege of swearing at other users, you know?
People already did that like 6 bloody years ago, mate.
And now in YouTube news, the YouTube HQ in the States was recently shot up by a disgruntled content creator. Another article published by the ABC, the woman who had shot up YouTube had injured people, but no one was killed on the scene except the shooter, who eventually took her own life. The woman in question made some really shitty content but wasn't getting any views, and thought that YouTube was censoring her, and decided shooting up YouTube was the answer. Her family was one step ahead of her, however, warning the police at least 2 days before that she may do harm to YouTube when the woman went missing for 2 days. However, the police didn't see her as a threat, even when checking up on her sleeping in her car days before the shooting. Now, the funny thing is that a lot of Americans right now are blaming white people and white males for the shooting. And yeah, this woman was Iranian and she was a female, so no white males shooting up these schools. But, I mean, did YouTube and Google really not see this coming, though? You count everyone's views, you count everyone's money, and you're eventually going to take some shots because of it. Quite literally. And just as you may be feeling sorry for the YouTube employees and YouTube, Creator Insider, a YouTube channel managed by YouTube staff, released a video where they explain how YouTube notifies subscribers. Apparently, YouTube only notifies your most active subscribers. Great work, YouTube. Now go and die in a hole. Like you almost did. And now for some more prominent sports news. The Australian cricket team decided to try and cheat on live television. If you've managed to avoid this media AIDS plague, the Australian cricket team tried to use sandpaper to ruin the ball they were using so they could get the ball changed in their test versus South Africa. This apparently is worth whipping into the news for fucking ages, with all 3 players involved being banned for up to a year, and the coach breaking down like a 4-year-old child not being invited to a birthday party at a press conference. I really don't have an opinion here except for the fact that grown men cry like little girls about cricket. Alright, I know it's your livelihood, you possibly have families relying on you, but grow the fuck up. And now for our final news story, we have some news regarding the NBN. In an article published again by the ABC, the head of the NBN will be resigning at the start of 2019. He said that he was proud to have led the NBN for 5 years, and fuck up the internet for everyone. Oh, sorry, my sources are telling me that he didn't say that exactly, but with every single word that came out of his mouth, he implied it. Another piece of the news that few people got with this announcement is that the NBN will be made available to everyone by 2020, with the rollout being rolled out faster than expected. It's not going to be great, especially due to internet providers not being able to give out advertised speeds with an NBN connection. But don't fret, by January 2019, Optus will be providing a 5G wireless alternative to the NBN that runs at 100 megabits per second. So let's wait for that and see how that goes. Anyway, that's the end of our almost monthly program. Make sure you like, share and subscribe, as well as liking our Facebook page in the description below. Thank you, and we'll see you guys next video.
You make sure you come over here.
No, I don't want to go over here. I'm good, thank you.
Oh, you better come over here.
No, go away from me, Tracy.
No, you're coming over here. Hey, can you guys, like, just, like, stop arguing for, like, 5 seconds? Otherwise I have to fire the both of you.
Fuck off.